get the microphone. It's too late. I have to get the button. Here, I'll get this. You do that. Testing 1, 2. Testing.
It's working, obviously. Sorry, guys. I realize I'm doing one thing and then I'm doing another, and we just let it go live early for the moment. I was going to show Thumper, and then I was like, wait a second, I don't even have a microphone. Let's go say hi to your fans. Hi, guys. I'm Thumper. I'm still sick, but I go to the vet on Wednesday. Yeah, still sick. Very sick still. So he's not really supposed to be in here, just in case.
Well, that's okay. He'll leave as soon as you put him down.
As soon as I put him down, he's going to go do his thing, lay in a beanbag, lay on a rocking chair. He's going to go hide. But he just wanted to say hi. Oh, you're going to try to sniff at my stuff? You can't have any of that. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. It's Sunday. So Sunday, where we're still working on this double wedding ring because it's a sew-along and you want to work with me on this quilt. That's driving me mad. Mad? Is that a word? Oh, this is going to take forever. All right. So let's see who's out here real quick. Quickly. Oh, wow. This has been going on for a while. We got Dawn, Gloria, Aldia, Robin, Jeannie, Kay, Polly, Tracy, Agnes, Marilyn, Teresa, Nancy, Grace, Steve, Judy, Leanne, Miki, and so many more. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So I have got most of everything ready. Okay. So I have 160 of these. Well, technically not, because there's some on the wall. So I made the ones without the end caps, which we covered last week. And then we started by showing you how to add your end pieces, which are the D piece on each end, which is 2 different colors. And one color always goes on one end and the other color always goes on the other side. Now I am going to repeat showing you that on 20 pieces because I've made 140 and I saved 20 more for 160 total to show you guys. So I'm going to show you a quick overview on how to put the D pieces on the ends, and we'll bring the camera around for that. But I just wanted to show you. Can you see it now? I mean, I don't know what it is, but this color combination, I'm just in love with it, even though I don't like browns. I really don't. But this with the browns, the greens, the blues, the rust, the red, like it just blends together in this amazingness. I love it. And no, those pieces aren't put together yet. Only this, and this is together. The rest of it I just laid there so you can get the general idea of what we're doing here. How am I feeling? I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow to see the spine doctor. I had my MRI. I got all my stuff. Now I just need to take the disc and all that stuff to him, and hopefully they can help him, the doctor. It's a he. Hopefully he could help. Other than that, it's been a struggle. Like, I've been having issues. I've been long arm quilting. I should have been working on this to get a lot more of this done, but I've been long arm quilting because I have other things to do and I keep getting these genius ideas. And I got a genius idea and I probably shouldn't have done it because my legs hurt. But I did share with you guys quilting of the, there's a word, flower pot quilts. So that video is on there for those that like watching my long arm quilting. That video is on there. And I really didn't want to overly quilt that. I just kind of medium quilted it. And I quilted the Liberty Lane quilt. And then I quilted a little small one that's still kind of laying over the frame because I had to mark the whole entire quilt. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of long arm quilters use this Mark Be Gone. It's got an air soluble disappearing side, which is purple, and then it's got the water soluble blue side. So I marked the entire quilt with lines. Oh my goodness, where did it go? Anyways, I marked this whole entire quilt with the lines, making a grid, which I never do. Usually I just do all that freehand. I think where it's going to land, but this time I needed to for what I was doing. Anyway, I cannot get those blue marks to go away. I never mark quilts. I mean, every now and then I'll put a little dot and that's it. And I'll put water on it and it goes away. But I literally drew cross-hatching pretty much over the whole entire quilt. Stitched it, spritzed it some more. Oh, wait, spritzed it some more. Oh, spritzed it some more. And the blue marks are still there. Everyone else I watch on YouTube that uses the Mark Be Gone marker, they don't have a problem. Or maybe they do, they just don't show that part on camera. So if you guys have any secrets other than the baking soda thing in the water on how to get rid of the Mark Be Gone marker besides dunking a whole... I can't do this with client quilts. I can't dunk the whole quilt in the bathtub and hope that the marks just disappear. So, I mean, there's got to be a solution. A solution. Anyways, off of that rant. Let's bring the camera over and we'll show you how to attach the D pieces to your curve things. Give you a little refresher on that, and then we'll get started on how to turn them into footballs, because that's the next step.
Jim put a link in for the flower pot.
Jim put a link in for the flower pot quilt in case if you guys want to watch quilting it. Since you did watch on a breakfast at Tiffany's of me putting it together, we'll show it right now though, before we move the camera, because I left it in here because I bound it.
Let's quick show it so they can all see how awesome it truly is.
So I don't know if you could tell, I did not, not normally me, I didn't quilt in any of the white. It is a hand distance from where the stitching is. There is less than a hand space of stitching, so that should not bother anything. It shouldn't mess up the batting or anything because my hand distance is within the quilting. So,
but you quilted really cool.
But I quilted a feather all around the feather around the flowers as the petals, and then a circular thing, a leaf with veins in it in the leaves, and then every single pot on here is different. Every single one of them. I made sure to have fun and do something different with every pot.
Show them all that.
Yeah, they're all different. Every single one. And then it's just a line that goes across all the sashing. So you guys can see this finished quilt since it was done on episodes. And then the back is just birds. I didn't have enough fabric, so I mixed it with another piece of pink.
It looks cool.
And then I used orange to bind it because not only is there orange in the fabric on the front, but the birds are orange and pink. So, I mean, it kind of worked out perfect. All right, there's that. We're going to bring the camera around. I can do it while it's plugged in because we're going to be here. Oh, okay. We'll show the other one real quick then.
We're going to show them both. Let's show them both.
Okay.
That was the plan.
And then, since you saw me do Liberty Lane on a Sew Sunday, right? Liberty Lane was a Sew Sunday video. I quilted this with loops, stars, and fireworks.
Yep, you just did this week too.
Yep, this is another thing I did this week. I did not share the quilting because I have a video of loops and stars. So I didn't need to make another video of loops and stars.
But it's awesome.
But it came out amazing. And then it has, like I said, there's stars. And then my rendition of a firework is literally, you come in, you make a line, backtrack, make a line the other way, backtrack, make a line a different way, backtrack, make a line, and it just looks like it exploded. It looks like another star, but it's a firework. And then the back,
Okay.
is just what I chose in that video. It's just stars. So there's that. All finished. That was this week's stuff. I got some stuff done, but I did not want to be standing there doing it because I was having a bad week. It's been a bad couple of months, but this week's been kind of a little tough. All right, the camera is going to move. It's moving, moving, moving.
Can you explain how you get the arcs to match the diamonds?
How to get the arcs to match the diamonds. I'm going to show you right now what we're doing here, right?
You want me to unplug this?
There. Nope. As long as my chair keeps not hitting it, we're going to put you as close as I possibly can. Right here. That should be a good angle. Bring my pedal around and attempt to do this with this right there without hitting it. I got to not hit this. That's all I'm saying. All right. So first, I'm doing the blue. And I'm actually chain piecing all of these. Hoping this is a good angle. Is this a good angle? Seems good.
Looks good on my end.
All right, so this is how it's going to go on there, right? What you're literally doing is you're taking this flat side right here, putting it right sides together, and you're lining it up with this edge right here. So the flat part, it's going to stick out at the top, obviously. But you want those two straights together, nothing hanging over, okay? Then you're just going to slide it under and take like 3 or 4 stitches, 2 or 3 stitches, whatever. Use your knee lift or lift your press foot, but you need both hands for this. And you're going to line that up, stitch, line it up, stitch, and then stitch all the way through. I'm going to disconnect this one so that you can see. It's stitched with a 1/4 inch seam. I came out and there's a little tail that hangs out. Those tails are important. The book says to cut them off, but I'm not cutting them off because they're highly important. I learned my lesson on following books. This is important to keep that there. So then I'm just going to press it back and it creates one straight line here and one straight line here. You see that? Straight, straight. So then I grab a white and it's going to go on the other side. But to make this easier for me, we're going to lay it like this. And we're going to put this piece on top because I want my point coming out this way. I'm going to lay this piece on top and I'm going to straighten that top edge. It's the same as if I did it this way. Okay? But I'm just doing this whole thing upside down. I'm going to take a couple stitches. About 3 stitches in. I'm going to line those up on top of each other. Stitch a little bit. And if you need to use your stiletto, which I kind of kept it right here so that you guys can see. If you need to use the stiletto to hold things like this, go ahead and do that. Just don't sew the stiletto because it will hit your needle and it will ruin your needle. So again, if I press this back, you can see it makes a straight line here, and I have my little tiny dog ear. Leave those dog ears. Please leave those dog ears because that helps the next step. Really, it does. It tells me to cut them off in the book, but I'm not doing that. So let me situate myself just a little bit better. My best way to do all this, though, is to chain piece. So we're literally going to put this one here, slide it under a couple stitches, and I'm literally going to just hold that through, move that big piece out of the way, grab the next. Line it up, just like this. Take a couple stitches, straighten those edges together. Grab another, and I literally just chain piece all of these. Take a couple stitches. Oh my goodness. Sometimes they don't want to separate. So always remember, your point's going to come out to your right when you're laying these on here. See, the point comes out to the right when you're doing this way. And this helps get more done faster. Plus, if you have a machine that likes to eat fabric down in, it's best to chain piece. So that way you don't suck the fabric down every single time you're trying to put one of these corners through there. I've realized that the more and more pieces, I got to about 140 before I got this rhythm going, and it literally takes me 15 minutes to sew 20 of these together. And that's the blue part and the white part, so both sides, which is actually pretty good. 15 minutes to sew these. Oh, come on, just stay. So I just line them up. Again, I'm just lining the straight edge right there, sticking it under a couple stitches, literally like 2 or 3, because if you go any further, you're going to have to adjust it differently. And just adjusting it through. There's no need to pin any of this. This actually is a lot easier than you think, this step. The next step requires pinning and lots of attention. Let's just say it's a harder step. So once we conquer this, though, you can do this whole entire quilt.
You like your nails?
My nails? My nails are sucky right now. I got cracks and breaks, and they keep breaking off, and you know how hard.
Natural and real. Natural
and real, yeah. And if you notice on the top of my hand, I burned myself with the iron right here. I have issues medically, and sometimes I shake really bad, and then I just like, even my vision gets messed up. So I went to put the iron down, and it landed right here on my hand. Then right here, you can't see it anymore. Well, the red line is there. I cut myself with the rotary cutter right here. How did I do that? I have no idea. And then I also cut myself with the rotary cutter right there, which is healing as well. That felt like these ones both felt like a paper cut at first. Oh my gosh. And you know how a paper cut really hurts. But the palm of my hand, how did I do that? I have no idea. I never know how I'm cutting myself with that darn rotary cutter or burning myself with the iron. But this thing itches. Ugh. All the washing of my hands, it's not allowing it to heal. And so it's like in an itchy stage constantly. There's just little tiny burns. It's not anything significant, but still little tiny cuts from the rotary cutter, like paper cuts, and they hurt. I don't know how you cut in at your middle finger, though. That one was beyond me. I actually bled on fabric, too. It was pretty crazy. And it was on the fabric before I realized I cut myself. Because I didn't know I cut my middle finger. And then like 20 minutes later, I cut the palm of my hand. It was weird. Yeah, this goes pretty quick once you get used to it, especially if you're making a lot of pieces like me. Oh, come on. When you barely have any left. Oh, I have one extra? How'd that happen? Probably because I'm supposed to have one extra because I need to make one extra, whatchamacallit still, I think. I was trying to do some math on my little math paper. So you can see chain piecing helps. And then I just go ahead and snip them all apart and sit them next to me on the table. Just kind of sliding them over there so that I can pick them all up and do the other side. All right, and I grab my white pieces, and I'm going to lay it like this. Turn this piece upside down with my curve, the upper curve facing, away from me. This piece is always going to sit just like this. I'm just going to line up that edge, slide it in, take a couple stitches, and do the next. Over and over until they are all sewn. And I just grab and go, grab and go. I found that this part gets easier as you sew them, because you're going to be making a lot if you're making a big quilt like me while we're sewing this together. I think that piece kind of veered a little, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Did not touch the screen. It just started doing things. And the best part of all this is with a knee lift, it makes it so much easier because it's hard to hold this stuff with two hands and have to reach your hand back and adjust every time. So I highly, highly suggest that for these kind of projects is to have one with your machine. If your machine is capable of it, I should say. Oops, gotta go this way. Gotta remember, my point always goes to my right when attaching. Almost put that one on backwards. Like I said, once you do 140 of them, the last 20 goes pretty quick. I'm curious to those that are making this, how big of a quilt are you making? So if you're making this, type the size of the quilt you're making of your double wedding ring.
Have you ever felt imitated? I think she means intimidated with a new pattern.
Have I ever felt intimidated by a new pattern? Yeah, this one. That's why I never did it until now. Even though I've done an even more complex quilt, this still was one of those things that I didn't think I was ready for, but obviously I am. I'm ready for anything. I'll throw my own way. I'm gonna make it work somehow, some way. Oh, don't stitch yet. Moved itself.
And then he's doing 90 by 90.
A 90 by 90. That's a big size. I think that it's close to the size I'm doing of mine. I think mine's going to be 89 by 100 or something. Can you plug the iron in and put it up here for me so that I can use one of my little ironing things?
Yeah. How about Sculliver? Was that intimidating?
Sculliver was intimidating.
You want this iron?
Only because I'm not very good at paper piecing.
You want this little one? You want that one?
I want that one.
Okay. You want to plug it in here?
Yes, please.
I didn't know that plug could handle. Is this what you want?
Yep. Yep. Thank you.
You want a wool mat with it? Your little wool mat?
No, I'll be fine.
You want the big
And I had one left of these. I must have cut something wrong, or I'm missing something, but that's okay. What?
The littler one?
No,
You want that big one?
The big one's fine.
Want water in it?
No, it's fine.
Okay. One lady's doing 68 by 75.
68 by 75, so still rectangular.
Another one's doing 100 by 100.
Oh, somebody's got a king size.
Circles are 20 inches.
Wow. All right, we're going to move the camera now, and it's going to go in front of me ironing so that you guys can just see how simple this is. Don't mind my ugly stained ironing thing. You can tell it's a nice big square from interfacing. All right, so when we iron, we're going to push them away from. So away from and away from. Just like that. And then it just should be nice. Do not iron it. So I do not suggest going like this. I'm showing you, but don't do that. Slide this way, slide that way, like this, in your curve of your arc. Go with the arc, not with it, not, with the pieces or whatever. Keeps it archy. Is that a word?
Yeah.
It keeps it arcing, that's for sure. And you just press them like this. I finger press first to kind of just get it to stay down.
Are you going to trim and do a border edge instead of scalloped edges?
Am I going to trim and do a bordered edge instead of scalloped? I was actually going to try to figure out how to make a bordered edge, a flat edge with the scallops. I was going to try to cut my own thing out and make it fit. Because you guys know me, I like to do stuff like that.
Doing it this way doesn't stretch the fabric?
No, it's not stretching anything. I'm just laying it here, and I'm just literally holding it on that, just running back and forth from side to side. Not stretching anything. Sorry, I know my arm keeps being in the way. You can also just pick up your iron and lay it on that seam only. But I find that it's faster if I just slide from one side to the other. Plus it reflattens back out since I was messing with them. Oops, that one didn't. Now it is. And they kind of look like they're off, but they're really not, because once you sew them to the next step, it's not. Trust me, it all works out. Every time I iron on this one right here, it smells like a dryer sheet.
Yeah, I know.
Because I cleaned an iron with a dryer sheet on this.
Good.
So it smells like a dryer sheet. Because I got the glue stuff. I almost said a bad word. I got the glue stuff everywhere. So I had to use a dryer sheet to clean the iron, and I laid all that on here to get it to suck up the sticky stuff. No, every time I use it. This is a Scott's cheapy, when the 99-cent store was open before they closed, this was his cheapy 99-cent store iron that cost $10.
It was way less than that.
It was $6 because it was on sale. We should have bought more of them. Yeah, it was when they were closing. We probably should have bought every iron they had there, because this one is perfect. It does not weigh. I don't even think it weighs a pound. It is very lightweight. And it steams like crazy, which is what I like. It has already started leaking water, though, but, I mean, for the 99-cent store type stuff.
It's now our top-of-the-line iron.
Yeah, so now
all of our others are broke.
Yep, every other iron is broken here except for my little tiny sunbeam thing.
What's the brand name?
Oh, the brand name. It looks like a Safeway symbol for the grocery store Safeway, but it's called Smart Tech. Or Smartech, technically, because there's not a double T there. It's Smartech.
Oh.
Yep, it's just a little tiny iron. It probably weighs a pound when there's water in it, but when there's no water in it, it doesn't weigh anything. If I was a football player, I could probably toss this thing 90 yards compared to most other irons.
Yeah.
This one can go far because it doesn't weigh anything. All right, one more to press, and then we can move on to the next step, which we're going to stay right here at the desk for, because we need to pin and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do that right literally in front of your face. We're going to have close-ups and camera stay areas. So you're going to get a lot of camera movement today, guys. All right, for now, that can go right there, but we're going to need it again. Slide this over and put you guys right here. We're going to show you. You're going to cut out your C pieces. I'm going to just move this. And what I did, because the pattern book shows C being cut from the corners. Okay, let me get the book. There it is. So in the book, I think it was somewhere right here. Says it. Says you're cutting a wide piece, like 12.5 inches or something like that. And when you cut out this, every whatever, anything in the middle is going to have this, right? So then you cut this piece from whatever's on the sides and stuff. You're cutting oversized. In my case, I didn't want to do that because I think that was just, I wasn't going to get as many of these and I would still have to cut this because I need more of these than I do of the E piece. So I went ahead and just added my extra amount of yardage that I needed. I know it said it somewhere in here. Yeah, whatever, I'm done looking. Anyway, I'm going to take my C and I'm going to line it up right here this way. So I cut a 7.5 inch long piece. I need a rotary cutter. I'm going to show you guys both rotary cuttings. So for these, because this one's a longer curve than our tiny pieces, you can either use the little 28mm or you can use your 45. I'm going to show you with the 45. It's just the same. Follow it very slowly around and then turn your body or turn the piece and follow it around the other direction. And the other direction, I messed it up. Come on. Right there. Okay, so you can cut like that. And then the next one, I just line it up right here on that edge because I know that edge is straight. Those two are on top of each other. And then you can use this little guy. It kind of goes around them a lot easier. See? And then you just cut the rest. Oh my goodness, just tiny little pieces. It's my mat, it's not the blades. The blade's fresh. And then stack them in a pile. So you literally are cutting your C pieces or whatever pattern, your pattern pieces for the football. I call this the little football part. See, it's missing nicks in my board. See, my cutting mat. It's hitting those nicks. I'm going to turn the whole entire thing to avoid that problem right there. Or not. Just slide that out of the way and make it. So I'm just going to cut my whole entire, you could stack more. I'm just for now, for the video's sake, showing you guys. This is our next step, is cutting out all of our C pieces so that we can make our footballs.
What's the name of the templates you're using?
The templates is OmniGrid. It's an OmniGrid template set. AccuQuilt has a die for it. And any other set I don't know about company-wise because mine is from the 80s, my book, and all of its information. This is an older set. So I just literally am cutting these out until I get to the number that I need. Remember I said, count out. When you're following these books, count out how many you're going to need by dividing or timesing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then do it again the opposite direction. You know what I mean? That way you know, and then you do your math of how many pieces you're going to need for everything. Okay? Make sure you make yourself a chart. It made this whole process a lot easier having a chart of how many pieces. So much easier. And then cutting from the smaller pieces, I think, is a lot easier. So I'll get the amount that I need this way. turn that instead of my body.
You need help?
Nope. Just going to turn it.
Tell me your brand new little cutter, the handle's coming off.
Yeah, the handle is, and there I go tapping myself with the blade again. The little cutter's falling apart already. It was sent to me just recently, but it's it's like eraser almost. It's getting all over the place. But they make all sorts of different brands of these.
Yeah, it was just this week you got that.
Yeah, I just got, well, last week when I opened mail, yeah.
Last week.
Now you guys know how I cut myself all the time. It's stuff like this. Oh, come on. Right there. Stay. All right. And just so that you know, at the end, you have room. Let me press this real quick. At the end, you have room to cut one more. So you're really not wasting, you know, you still get one more out of it. Turn around, reline it back up because, you know, it's just one piece and it didn't want to cut. My lovely cutting mat.
That was this week you opened that. I knew it. It was 6 days ago.
Yep.
So in 6 days that handle fell apart.
Yep. Just a few days and it fell apart, yes. It's okay. All right. I'm going to close this blade because I think this is the one I keep nicking myself on.
Probably.
Throw all that out of the way. And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to come sit right here so that you guys can see how this is going to work. All right. Pins. You need pins. I don't pin, but you have to with this project. So we're going to grab one of our thingamabobbers, our little footballs.
Would a rotating mat help?
A rotating mat would help, yes. I have one too, and I just never pull it out. Also, keep a seam ripper handy because that, you know, you need to have a seam ripper handy. So you need one football, one without your two ends, one unit without the two, and one unit with the two. This is how this is going to work. So I'm going to slide this and this out of the way. We're going to start with our football. We're going to fold it in half, matching the points. We're going to make this crease here. And I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to draw on that crease. The next marking you're going to make is a 1/4 inch in from your point. So I have this line, this point on a line right here. So I could see my 1/4 inch is right there. And I'm going to make a mark. Okay. Then I'm going to go to this side and I can see that this line, it's hitting from here to here. This line is now a 1/4 inch right there. So now once all your markings are on there, this is a 6-piece unit. So that means the 3rd piece is your seam. What you're going to do now, so you're going to take that seam and you're going to line it up right here, that seam right on that fold that you made with your little pin mark. And you're going to put your pin in there, just like that. Then you're going to take this other end and you're going to match that with that 1/4 inch mark. So you put a little tiny dot, that's a 1/4 inch. You're going to line this up on that so you have a little 1/4 inch piece sticking out. I know it's hard to see because it's a cream fabric. I'm going to plop a pin in there so you can see it sticking out 1/4 inch. I'm going to go to this other side and I'm going to line it up right here on that 1/4 inch dot that I made right there. And I am going to plop a pin in there. And this is why I've been poking my fingers all day long. Oy, oy, oy. Now it's all about smoothing it out. So you're just going to take the side that you're currently on, whatever side that may be, and you're just going to line up those two edges of your football and your pieced section. And you're just going to plop a couple pins in there. to flatten the whole thing out. Just like that. And then we're going to walk this side. So we're literally lining up the two edges. You mainly just need to put a pin at the seams. You know, you just use your fingernail, slide it, plop your pin in there, just like this. So now I have a bunch of pins. And we're going to take this over to the sewing machine. So I'm just going to turn you the other way, and that way it's not in the way of me. Since we're trying to do this all up and close today. Oops, sorry. I knew the chair would hit it eventually. We're just going to remove that. All right, now you're on the opposite side because I need my knee lift. And I'm going to take a drink of water first before I...
You need water?
No, I got the water. I moved my magnetic seam guide back for this part, as you can see. So I'm going to start with my needle right here. It's literally going to come in at that crease. It's a 1/4 inch mark. So that crease right there, I'm going to move that first needle out of the way. I'm going to reline this back up because I moved the needle a little too soon. Right here. You can hold it with your stiletto if you need to. As long as I get those couple stitches in. Okay. So now I'm literally just going to carefully stitch close to a needle, pull them out. Adjusting as we go. That's where this whole knee lift thing is handy. Coming close to the needles. I think no matter what side I'm on, you guys are blocked by my hand. And I'm sorry for that. Go ahead and remove that needle. And they all stick to my magnetic seam guide. And then we're going to come out right here at that point. So you can see my stitch came out right at the 1/4 inch point. And it started right at that 1/4 inch point. So now we're going to go ahead and press this. I'm going to go press this towards my football. Even though it's the lighter fabric, that's the way I'm going to press it. Okay, so let me do that real quickly without turning the camera. That's why I kept the ironing thing next to me. Oh, actually, I do have to turn the camera anyway. What was I thinking? All right. Back down. I accidentally got rid of my mark. Please, when you iron it, try to iron just this edge down. Try not to get your halfway mark. I did that twice now already. Just going to remake myself a halfway point and mark it with my heat erasable pin within the seam. And now we're going to do this all over again. Your center is halfway. Now it's between 4 pieces because you have extra on this one. So I'm going to put that center seam literally on the on the line that I just made, and we're going to plop a pin in there just like that. And now this is where I say don't cut these points off. Leave the dog ears. This is why. Take the dog ear, match it to the other dog ear. I know it's hard for you guys to see. Match those 2 dog ears together. Put a pin in it. Come to this side. Match your dog ears together. On this side. This is highly important not to cut those things off. I don't know why the book tells me to, but you need them. It's very important to keep those. Now, I'm just going to turn this end right here. Put a pin right here. Walk all this in, same as the previous. Pop a pin. Walk it in. Pop a pin. Go to this side. Walk it in. Put a pin. And one more pin right here. And then I'm going to come to this end and match those together. Like this. And then all I need to do now is start sewing from up here all along this. So let's go to the machine. I'm just going to stand for this stuff because I think it helps without hitting this camera. I'm so sorry for those that get motion sick for this, but there's no other way to show you. So I'm going to take a couple stitches to hold that down, reline up what I got, and then start walking it through. My pins are holding it where I need it. Everything should be good. Slowly. And then I gotta just adjust that a little bit with my fingers. You can use your stiletto. Before I press, I'm gonna open this and I'm gonna look. This is what you get when you line up those dog ears. Don't cut them off. It is highly important, or else you won't be able to line that up. You want it to line up. So now I'm just going to go ahead and press this towards the football. So we'll just come back over here. I'm going to very carefully just finger press it, push it out, and I'm going to take my iron and nicely press it like this. And then I'll just go back and forth on the whole entire thing. And there you have a straight line there, not really right there, but who cares, because I'm going to make it work, and a straight line there. This I just, because it unadjusted when I was sewing it, you know, but I'm going to make it work because if I just, you know, snip that little area off, it'll be just fine. So there is a football. Let's do it again. Remember, you need those dog ears.
Why towards the football?
Well, my book says towards the football, but you can press whatever way you want. Oh, yeah. So this is why you need those dog ears. So don't cut them off when you make this, my friends. I found without them, you can't line that up. I was messing every single one of them up, and that's where the seam ripper came in handy, is because I was messing every single one of those points up. We don't want to mess them up because we don't want to have to sew everything twice. All right. Back to this side. Grab a football. Fold it in half. Place a crease with my finger to where at least I can see it, and then I'll mark it with my marker. Line it up right here on this line, and then 1/4 inch right there, and then 1/4 inch right there. So mark that 1/4 inch. If you need to use a ruler, you know, to mark your little 1/4 inch in, right there, and right there, you can take your ruler and lay it on the tip right here and put the 1/4 inch line on there, just like that. You can do it with the ruler if you need. But I just use the cutting mat because it's literally, that point lands on that line, and you can see it's lined up with the 1/4 inch on the cutting mat. All right, I'm going to start with this first one. I'm going to go right sides together. I'm going to put that seam with that line that I made. And that's the first thing I do. I'm also going to grab all the pins over at the machine, because or else I'm going to end up with a huge, huge pile over there. Put them back in my little pin jar. It's back and forth, back and forth. That's all this is with the pins. All right, again, this end now goes at that 1/4 inch dot. So if you cover it, that's good. So we're just making it right there at the end. Put a little pin there. Come to this side. Line that edge up with that dot. Place a pin in it. Now all you have to do is walk the rest in. And if you don't want to pin all this and you just have all these 3, you could really walk this in at the machine. You don't have to throw all these pins in here. I'm doing it for good measure because, especially when I add this next piece, I want it to stay. But it's just, you know, allowing me to get more accurateness because this is a completely curved quilt. So now I'm going to take it over to the machine. Camera turn. I'm going to hold this with my finger, or again, you can use your stiletto like this. Put it under there. Start the stitching. Walk it. Move the pins. Walk it. And then, again, you can just hold the stiletto there once that pin is gone. And then, see, it wants to go towards the football on its own. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's why I just said push towards the football. So I'm going to iron that without touching this. That way I don't have to remark it again. Let's see if I can do that like I was doing earlier.
Do you ever put your pins in along the same line sideways?
The
seam line.
I don't put them along the seam line because I poke myself. I'm bad at poking myself, like really bad. All right, again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the center. Put that center on that line. I've also put my pins in this way, like this, and then I sew right over them. But for this project, I'm pulling them out as I go. So, and they land on my seam guide. All right, point here, dog ear there. Put the dog ears together. Highly important. I don't know why. I still don't understand that book, but whatever is clever, I guess. So you can just like put a bunch of pins in it so that it stays. This is what the person was just asking, is if do I ever put my pins in like this along the seam? You can, but again, I'm a poke myself kind of person, so that is really hard for me to, do. All right, 2 dog ears. Put them on top of each other. Plop the pin in there. I'm going to line up my end. Holding it with my fingers. I can even put the pin in like this at the edge. Again, I'll probably poke myself, but that's just how it goes. And then walk the rest of it in. You can do this again just at the machine, or you can pre-pin it. It's kind of trying to adjust itself, like because it shrinks it up as soon as you start pinning everything. So I've only had 1 crease so far. As long as you go slow, it's fine. So I usually don't do this, but we're going to run it through anyway. Come to this side. All right. So again, I can move that pin and hold this. And, well, I'm not going to be able to sew anything anyway, so I have to reline that up. We knocked the thread out. Now if I can just get it where it goes. Keep a long tail. How about that? I'm going to chain piece though. So we're going to chain hook everything together, chain piece everything together, just chain the whole thing. Why? Because we can. Oh, come on, knee lift. There we go. Very slowly. There we go. Pulling them out. See, this is where I end up stabbing myself. I'm going down with it. Yeah, I got to pull it out. Yeah, see, I just stabbed myself again. That's why I don't do that. And you can't put them in this way because your pin head, you won't be able to slide it out. See that? You won't be able to slide your pin head out. So I don't recommend doing that because you'll stab yourself a million times. We don't want to stab ourselves. You can hold the pin up though as you come close to it, like that. Or you can just use your fingers. And the stiletto when you get to the very end. All right, before I go anywhere, we're going to check. Look at that. It's literally perfect. Look, that's what you want every single time. That's what we want. All right, so let's press it. Just gonna push that there, go all the way around. I'm picking the iron up and holding it down, by the way. Oh, we got a thread. Oh, no, it wasn't attached. Good. All right, another football with a nice straight edge here and there, here and there. Look at that. It's great. That's what we're looking for. All right, now that I've showed you guys, hopefully 2 times was enough. We're gonna put the camera back where it goes. Camera is moving. Camera is moving. He is laying down. Hi, Thumper. Say hi, everybody. Yeah, say hi.
There are different sizes of templates, or are they all the same size?
Nope.
No matter what brand?
Doesn't matter the brand. They're all different. All brands are different. They're not all the same. I'm going to kind of put it right here so you could see me, the sewing and the trimming and the pressing. Hopefully my face will be in the shot. Not 100% on that though. All right. So this is literally a repetitive over and over thing, but I don't want to just do one at a time. I'm not a one at a time person. So what I'll do is I will literally mark all of these first. Line that up, mark right there, turn it around, mark right there, grab another one, and just do it until all these are marked. I know this is a part that takes forever. Those that are seasoned, that have done this before, probably don't even need to do that step, but I am not yet, so. He's going to show you the book real quick. That's my book. You could probably find it on eBay or Etsy these days, but it's older, like I said, so. And I really don't have to mark the little 1/4 inch on the ends because I kind of know where a 1/4 inch lies, but the centers I do need to mark. But I'm still marking it anyway since I am marking the centers. Excuse me. Time for a drink of water. Oops. I totally did not fold that in half. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 5. I'm going to grab all these pins back. It's just been a back and forth thing with all these pins. And I do have other pins, like I have the kind you can iron over. They're a lot thinner. So if you guys, want to look for things like this, I have this little coffin. That's what I call it, a coffin, that has these. I have longer single ones that an iron can go over. I also have these double ones. It's 2 pins. I don't know how well that's seeable, but it's like a double pin and you can go over it with an iron. Then they have the super long and then the medium. So the blue ones are medium and then the pink ones are super long. And, well, technically it's a turquoise because there's a little turquoise one that's even smaller. So I have like all the different sizes in this little case. These pins are so much easier to work with. Problem is they're not magnetic. I mean, they're magnetic, but they get stuck over here because they're small. So I don't use those ones as often. All right, let's grab a few of these one at a time. I'm literally going to just center, put a pin. I'm going to line this up, put a pin, blah, 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 over and over until 5 of them are ready to sew. On this end. And then we'll pretty much chain working all this. So I'm just going to put this on here, just a couple pins. I push them into the desk and then kind of bring it back up again. I don't pin very often, but when I do, I figure out easier ways to do things without poking fingers. So let's do this next one. And there. The other end. Lay it flat. Add a couple more pins. I'm just like force putting the curve, you know, into the arc of the football part. It doesn't take that long. That one's ready. Oh, I did 6. I thought I did 5, but I guess I miscounted because I wasn't really paying attention. But this probably will make it easier than just doing one at a time over and over because, again, some of you are doing, you know, 100 by 100 quilt. So I'm going to assume you have like, you know, a 9 by 9 layout, and that means you have more than 160 footballs. That's what I'm calling them. Because I have 160 footballs for mine. And actually did an almost math. I may be off by a couple pieces, but, oops, I knew that didn't go all the way in. Feel for it. There we go. I may be off by a couple pieces, but my quilt should have 2,472 pieces. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pieces in one quilt.
Yeah.
All right, next. This kind of stuff is a little bit harder for arthritic hands. I'm just letting you know, for those of you like me who have arthritis, this kind of stuff is just a little bit harder because not only does pinning irritate it, but like the fine work of it, you know, laying things out, doesn't help it any. Of course, what I was doing at the long arm yesterday and this morning, that didn't help my arthritic hands, but the design looks amazing. Maybe it will be completely dry by the time I'm almost done with this live and I could show you guys that quilt, what I did to it. And even if it has some blue marks on it, because I still have to remove them if there is more. What are you meowing at, mister? All right, making sure that I line up this end a little bit more, just a little bit more. There we go. I'll line up this end first. I try to line the ends up first. Kind of helps my brain a little bit. Plus it helps with the easing it in. And I'm probably dulling my pins doing this, but guess what? I don't care. Of all things quilting related, the pins have not changed in price. They're still the same price. So if I have to get more, they're still the same price.
That's true.
Everything else has gone up, but pins have not. And you can get 100 packs of them. Of course, I have hundreds and hundreds of them. I have more containers of pins. I just like these yellowhead ones the best. And I keep just enough to do like a king size quilt if I have to pin a border. Keep just enough pins in here to pin a border on a king size quilt. So I really don't need a ton of pins. Okay, here we go. We got 6 of them. So I literally am going to do that same procedure. It's a lot easier to do this sitting than it is standing, by the way. So I'm just going to sew, walk it through, pulling the pins as I go around the curve, keeping that last pin in, leave that on there, start the next one. Walk it around. I'm not stitching super fast, but I'm not going super slow. Next. So you just pre-pin them and then start sewing them. And you can do them in batches of like 5 or 10. Next. I know I'm going to have a big giant pile of pins next to me though. Oops, don't do that. So it tried to shift on me. Had to take the stiletto to it. Next. And one more. It was faster to sew them than to pin them. All right. Now if I just take all these in a big chunk, put them in their container and do it all over again for the other side. All right. Snip them apart and then press them. I'm going to try not to get rid of that other mark. Do my best. It's like a natural thing with quilting that you want to press the whole piece, not just a section of it, you know? See, you can see they all want to go towards the football. Every single one of these that I open, they just go towards the football.
Are you going to feel like a vacation after finishing this quilt?
Yeah, and I will be getting a vacation after finishing this quilt because next year I'm going on a cruise. And if you would like to join, the deets are in the description below. And you can join me and Scott on a cruise ship. You have to sign up through that link, though, that is provided for you in the description of this video and every single video up until 90 days before the cruise. But if you want to go on a cruise with us, it's sewing related, but it's still a vacation. We will have fun. We have lots of fun because we will be doing what we love. And even if we're not in the sewing room all day, I mean, it's a cruise. Come on now. I don't drink, but I know I'm going to have fun with Scott. One of the nights we're going to try to dance because he always wants to dance with me. So, I mean, we're just going to have to go find one of those places where we can just go dance, slow dance to the music or even fast dance. I mean, whatever. He's not a good dancer, so it doesn't matter what kind of music it is.
No.
Yeah, he's saying no.
They don't want to see me
He
dance.
has no rhythm.
They don't want to see me dance.
Yeah. All right. I got my mark still on there. We're going to grab 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. And here we go. Other side time. So I'm literally just going to put the 1 pin in. I'm going to match my dog ears because that's the best way to do this. Like, I still don't understand why they say to remove them because I tried lining it up and I kept having to pick it out. That's where that whole seam ripper thing came in handy. You know, like, I don't get it. Uh-oh, don't bleed. Okay, good. I pinched my finger to see if it's going to bleed or not because that one went in really good.
You're talking about you dancing when you did that one at the long arm where you were dancing.
Yep.
I forgot about that. That's good video.
Yep, I have a dancing video at the long arm, making a fool of myself. I also have a dancing video of me in here dancing, kind of like a workout dance while ironing. You know, you got to stay fit when you're a quilter because this is an exercise in itself, and if you don't have the strength and momentum to keep going and get things done, you need to build that. So a little bit of exercise while messing around while you're working. I mean, come on now, it's a no-brainer. It's all the exercise I need is to dance at the long arm and to dance while I'm ironing because I kind of can't do it while I'm sitting here. But I can stretch my feet and my legs while I'm sitting here because you can take and lift up on your toes and go down, up on your toes, go down. That's a great stretch for your feet. A long time ago, I tried to convince Scott to start a workout channel because back then, he was a very big gym freak and lifted weights and stuff. He still lifts weights,
But
but
he was also in great shape.
yeah, he was also in a lot greater shape. Not saying he's horrible shape or anything. It's just
I will.
over as we age, it gets worse, but he still goes to the gym. I don't. I have at-home workout stuff, but I told him a long time ago, you should start a channel, you know? We could have, and this is before I knew Josh, who just did his lifting and stitching. I was like, it could be lifting and stitching. And I said this a long time ago because he goes to the gym, so part of the channel would be him working out, keeping everybody fit, you know, and then the rest would be me showing how to make quilts. I could have worked out with him, though, which would have made it even better. But we never did it. And now there's already a channel for lifting and stitching. So that idea failed. Ow!
Are you okay?
It went in upside down
I saw.
and went straight into my finger.
I was going to grab that for you, but okay, you got it.
Oh. Okay, that one is slightly bleeding. As long as I don't touch the cream fabric, we're good. Just lick my finger because that's the best way to fix things. Second pin right there. There we go. All right, there's another one. See how much faster this goes if you just chain do it instead of just one at a time. The whole entire quilt could be chain pieced.
Medic.
Medic, yeah.
Medic.
Hey, at least, you know, I've only a couple times severely bled on camera. And that was one of the times that I was free motion quilting and I literally free motion quilted through my finger. And remember, it got stuck in the machine. For those who have been watching me for a really long time, I think that video is private now, so that nobody can watch it because I cussed up a storm and had to go to the bathroom and wash my hand and so on and so forth because the needle went into my finger and didn't want to come back out. It hurt while on live camera. And then I also did it on a long arm thing, and that video has also been since privated because the long arm is a lot harder to get your finger out of the needle.
Yeah.
And well, let's just say there was a little bit of tears there because I was worried it wasn't going to come out. So that video no longer is available to the general public.
Why don't you use mini clips instead?
I found that the clips are not as good for this. So I'm pinning. This allows me to be able to work the fabric in if I have to along the way. The clips didn't. They were, I trust me, I've already tried it. The clips didn't allow me to work it in as good. So I'm just working with pins. So my least favorite thing to do. But honestly, I'm getting better results. So that's a plus. That one does not have much of a little tail, but we're going to make it work. That was my finger. The longer I do this, because I have arthritis, the harder it is on my fingers. I start stabbing myself more and more, like just now. Not because I just said I do, but it's just because I get achy. So this is going to take a while. And this stuff, I will do a lot of it off camera, but what I can on camera. Just like the rest of everything, I'm pretty much showing you, giving you the way, and then you do your homework. Or else who would want to wait a whole week for me to do the next step? I mean, really? Come on now. I mean, to do the same step again. You would have to wait like a whole month for the next step if I did it only on camera. I knew I was saying that wrong.
We got you. We understood.
Everybody understands. Yeah, this would take forever. That's why we're doing it off camera. You guys don't want to wait. Some of you want to continue working. But by the end of each week, you at least know the next step. And the video is here for you to watch. And every single template is going to be about the same. Because if you used a solid template, one solid piece, and then had your two end caps, everything goes together the same. You just find the center of that piece. You know? And line it up with the center of the other piece. I've also woven end pins a few times so that everything stays, which I just did right now because that one lined it up so perfect that I wanted it to stay perfect. All right, one more to pin on, and then we can sew all these. This quilt is looking amazing. I should have did this years ago. I don't know why I waited. Like, I don't know what I was scared of. The part that I'm most antsy about, though, is figuring out how to square mine off without cutting into all this lovely work that I'm sewing. Because I really don't want to have to cut into it to make that work, you know?
Will you ever make another one?
Will I ever make another one? Well, you know, that's an iffy part because I really, 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 really want to make a black and purple one. That might put this one in the to-go pile because black and purple are like my two favorite colors. Well, black is the absence of color or all the colors combined, whatever you want to consider it. Those are my two together combo. All right, I'm going to set these down here. I'm going to bring this up here so I can empty it at the same time. I'm going to line this up and we're going to start.
Well, this whole thing, you're going to have another one of these points come down in here, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So
up here is going to be another big wheel, right?
yes.
And then it's going to be another pointy thing here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what if you just put the pointy things?
Yeah, put the
along
pointy things
square?
around the outside and then square them off. Yes, that's probably
Yeah.
what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
going to end up, these would be the same size pointy thing, because yours is not that one.
Mm-hmm.
But right?
Yep.
Which one's yours? Well, I can see that in my head. How comes I can see that?
That one is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it has these on the sides. You would
Yep.
have to...
No, the pointy piece would sew into that, each one.
Okay. You're normally the one that sees it in your head. I saw that.
Well, I saw that too. I'm just saying,
Okay.
in case it doesn't work out.
Okay.
Next. Notice I kept a consistent speed to sew that. Oh, did I not pin this? Oh, I didn't.
Well, they do make a template for the corners. And then you just said,
A template for the corners to make them straight, you mean?
yeah, I think she meant for the side. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even know what size block I'm making, honestly. Is this to this, that to that considered my block size? I don't know. Because they all work into each other. So I technically don't know how big my block is. Step-by-step instructions. I don't even think it says in here. We tried to look in the beginning, remember?
I have no idea, honey. What does that matter? It don't matter what size the block is. You just get her in.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't say how big the blocks are anywhere right here. Yeah, I don't know how big my blocks are because that book apparently is not the best. Oh, don't flip, don't flip. There we go. Yeah, I don't like if you guys didn't know what I'm talking about, I don't like scalloped edges on things. Nothing against, it just reminds me of old granny. No pun or meanness intentions. It's not modern for me. It's just too old fashioned. That's why I'm trying to straighten mine.
Do you know how big the diameter is?
How big the diameter of what is?
15 inches.
15 inches.
So
where is
15
it?
and a half.
So is it measured from here to the other side of the circle?
That's the diameter in the
Yeah.
circle.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just one person asked.
And one more. The part I haven't figured out yet is how I'm going to put these together. If I'm going to do it in rows and hook the rows together, or, you know, with one giant curved seam kind of thing. I don't know yet. All right, before I leave sitting here, check all these. Well, that one is off. I'm going to fix that one. It's enough for me to say, nope. I never said it was going to be perfect, you know? But I don't want it to be too far off. All right, where's my seam ripper? Right here next to me. It's right here at this section. Oh, that is not a seam ripper. That is a stiletto. Whoa. Stab myself.
You're getting dangerous over there, aren't you?
Yeah, it's getting about that danger time of day where everything is becoming a weapon and it's going to hurt me. Just need to take away like an inch beyond, reline it back up. It's just that one piece. There. Hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it right there. Do not let it move. Okay, now I can adjust. Much better. It just needed a little adjustment. All right. Pressing time. Oh, I probably should have pulled all those strings from ripping it out. Oops. How many of you actually neglect to remove those threads? I tend to do it on every single quilt, and then Scott, when I get to the long arm, will come to the long arm and start pulling all those threads out for me because I am really lazy about getting them out. There's one. Two. Three. Don't ask me why I'm counting. I know there's 6.
I'm curious about
How what? Oh, when we start connecting into the arches, I will be showing all of that. This is just this step. I'm doing it one step at a time. So we're doing all these little footballs first, and then we're going to work on putting them together into the into the art thing, whatever that is. For me, it's the E piece. All right. So just to put a little bit out here so that you guys can get a better idea. Let me cut some of these E pieces, although we're not showing you exactly right now, but I'm going to cut a couple more real quick. That 28 is better for this curve. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. See, and I can cut 2 more because I have this full piece. That's not enough. And that one I could probably get some out of, but just clean this up a little bit out of my way. So I can take my C piece and cut 2 more out of here real quick. So that way this stuff doesn't actually go to waste and I won't have to cut as much fabric. Oh, behind me, trash right there. So I got 2 more of those out of that, and then I will get 2 more on this. But I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just going to set this aside. The general idea of what I'm trying to show you here is, let me move all this over a little bit. At the moment, it's not together, so it kind of looks wonky. But this is laying it out pretty much. All right, put one of these right here. One of these right here. And then these pieces that we've made. This one will go on the blue side. And then blue side like that. And then the next one will go right here. but I didn't cut out any other pieces, but this is just the general idea. I want to go here. This one will go there. And obviously, the next one will go here. There. And there. Oh, look at that. So technically right now I have a little wall hangings worth, you know? So at this point I have a little wall hanging worth. Oh, it just doesn't like to roll on the carpet. All right. So that's how that is done. So while you guys are still here, I'm really, really hungry, but I'm going to start a couple of these, get them marked and ready. So if you have any questions, ask, but I think I'm going to get off here early because I'm starving.
We can show these quilts again quick.
Oh, you want to show the quilts again real quick?
That way the people, we only showed them right at the beginning.
Oh.
A lot of these people weren't here. They want to see your flower pot and your Liberty Lane.
My flower pot and my Liberty Lane. We're going to show the quilts again real quick.
Can I unplug this iron?
Yeah, you can unplug the iron. I'm done for now.
It's pretty hot over here.
I'm done for now.
It's getting hot in here.
All right, so here's my Liberty Lane quilt. All quilted up. Excuse me. So that's that. Finally got it done. It still doesn't yeah, it doesn't put any less quilts in the closet to be quilted though. Got the next one. I have like, I'll show you guys before we get off of here how many quilts are in there. They've made it to the floor, which these were on the floor. I picked them up and quilted them. And then, so now there should be only 2 quilts left on the floor in the closet.
The flower pots.
And then here's the flower pots. This was done on Breakfast at Tiffany's. And then there's a video of me quilting it that I just posted yesterday. All the flower pots are different, although I only showed just one pass. Well, technically 2, because I showed here and here first in the video, and then here and there second in the video, and then I showed going along all this and the flower pots, because I only have an 18-inch frame, so I can't really fit one whole block in at the same time unless I quilted it sideways. But since my backing went a specific direction, I wanted it to be equal on both sides, so I quilted this up and down instead of sideways. And the back is just cute little birds. To me, it's kind of sloppy because I really just wanted to quilt. I want to get things done, but I still want to custom quilt. And, you know, I kind of rushed through it, but I think it's okay. Even though I rushed to get things done. Any other questions?
Tell them to ask questions.
Ask questions. Ask questions. I'm just marking all these little pieces. My stomach is really going though. I'm like starving. I don't know why. Well, because sometimes they can hear the gurgle through the camera, through the microphone. All right, I'm gonna mark a few more and then I'll show you guys all the quilts that need to be quilted. And doing this is just adding, I don't even know what, by the time we end up even quilting this, I don't even know when that's gonna come. Even if I finish this in the next month, I don't, you know, I'll probably try to get this one on before anything else though. But I have another double wedding ring to quilt. And it's going to be my general idea thing. That one I think has bigger blocks. I'm going to pull that out actually and show you guys. I purchased it online, so, you know, from somebody who just likes to piece tops. And I got it purposely to do the quilting to see what I like and what I don't like. Let me just pull it out. It's in camouflage colors. And this has obviously the curved but somebody out there in the magical world of the internet made this lovely thing. And I am going to quilt it nicely, something on it. I think these blocks are bigger though. Oh yeah, they're a lot bigger. Oh yeah, they're bigger, like 2 inches almost. My goodness. Either way, I'm still going to get the general idea of what to quilt on mine from quilting this. But you can see it's camouflage fabric. It's got pink and green camo, blue and dark blue camo, greens and the browns. It's got a little bit of everything. And then it's got some palm tree fabric in it. It's all themed though with purple and, what was that color? Camo, purple and camo. And this one's pretty big. So I'll probably quilt this first before I quilt mine, just so that I can know what custom quilting I want to do on it. It has been hanging in the closet for far too long. I bought this like 2 years ago now. Now if I could figure out how to fold it properly.
You can get a hand.
Well, it's got the, and that's another thing. This one I'm going to do with the curves, just to see how hard it is to bind it. But mine I don't want, you know what I mean? I don't want mine to have that. This one can have the curves, but yeah, I'm not doing the other one with the curves. I don't even remember how big this was supposed to be. I'm not going to measure it either. Not in the mood. All right, let's show you guys. Well, it's the closet of how many quilts I have to quilt. Camera's moving. So we're going to just set you there. And I'll tell you what every quilt is. This is my hand piece quilt. This is actually supposed to get hand quilted, you know. This one has been here so long. This is for Maxine. That's the Maxine and Me, which hers is up there. But that's Maxine and Me quilts. Here's a Halloween quilt. I got the backing ready. Here's my unicorn quilt. It has the backing ready. My 4-star general quilt has the backing ready. I don't have backing. Well, actually, no, I do. I was going to use a purple. For that giant purple square quilt we did on one of the Sew Sundays. Then the Sew Sundays where I did that, I forgot what I even called this one, On Point. It was On Point Kids Quilt. That's what we called it. Then another one where we did, yeah, we had another one that we did on a Sew Sunday where I pieced the piece triangles. It's hung inside out, by the way. Then I have a Christmas one. Then I have those 2 Funkadelic colored ones that I called Salsa and Polka Dots. Then we have another from Sew Sunday. Another from Sew Sundays. Actually, no, that's Breakfast at Tiffany's that I did those triangles. Then I have that little Easter one. I really got to get that quilted because I'm going to give that away, and I told you guys. Then I actually found a hanger, and I hung up the Bumblebee quilt we just finished on Breakfast at Tiffany's. Then I have this Tula thing. I don't even know if it's going to be a back or a front. It's just a bunch of fat quarters and pieces sewn together. Then I have the okay, the word for it is slipping my brain, but intertwined quilt that I did in a video. I don't even remember. This was a tutorial. Here's a Bargello. Here's a what is the word? Thanksgiving quilt. Here's one that you guys haven't seen in a really long time, and that is my binding tool star. Like, that's what this one is. I haven't quilted it. It has backing though. Then my dream quilt. Then my T-Quilts block swap quilt. I haven't had room to do that one because this one needs ultra huge backing fabric because it's ginormous. Then I did like this Angela Walters kit thing to practice long arm quilting. So that's this. This has been hanging in here. I did this like 7 years ago or so. It just still hangs here. Then another purple one. Then that giant Irish chain that we did. It's 94 by 108 made with 5-inch charm squares. That was a giant project. Then, of course, the double wedding ring. Then another one that I bought online. It's like this star quilt. And then my big, huge Dresden, if you guys don't remember, it's got the stain on it. I'm going to figure that one out. And then I pieced a whole entire linen quilt here, which it was okay. It's got thread everywhere because linen really falls apart. And then another Bargello, because, you know, you can't have too many. Sculliver is way back here. Sculliver needs to be quilted. A Jelly Roll Race. And then some random stuff. Another Bargello. Some more random stuff. My, like, 4th quilt I ever made, but I never quilted it. And then all the way in the back is a curved log cabin, which I was going to add more borders to. I just haven't done it. But yeah, I have all that plus a stack on the floor here. There's 2 quilts here and a little quilt. I mean, I have a lot of work ahead of me. Plus we never finished this. This is from a Sew Sunday, those star blocks that we did, the pinwheel blocks. I never found a sashing to put between those yet. I literally have a ton of started projects over here. Like, if you go months back, I did these cute little face blocks, and I've never put them together. And I've seen in a comment recently, did Tiffany ever put those together? I did not, but we're going to open it right now. I just haven't trimmed them all down yet to put them together. They need to be trimmed and put into a quilt. See? Smiley face blocks.
I forgot all about those.
So we made these where I set in the pieces. Let me just turn this down so you can see. I literally set the pieces in and made funky, we did reverse piecing, I guess is the word for it, where we reversely cut out pieces and stuck them in, which is kind of fun to do, but again, I never put it all together. This one looks like Thor's hammer. They're all different. And that one's just random. I haven't pulled these out in so long, I forgot what I made with all of them. Some of these are really cool. One more. Look at that. So I just need to like figure out how to put them all together somehow, some way. And then there's other started projects that are just, you know, random on that shelf down there. So, all right, camera's moving. And I have a bunch of other started projects over on that shelf too. I'm just all over the place, you know, because that's just what happens. This is my life, guys, and that is why I share it with you, my quilting life. At the moment, my life says, nope, you can't long arm quilt any of this. Who knew? Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, though. I'm starving. Like, I just made myself worse starving. So.
Because what you ate was a salad earlier. That's why.
It's all like, because I ate a salad. That was it earlier. Before going live. All right. Oops. Let's put this thing away before I stab myself. All right, guys. Any other questions before I get off of here? I don't see anything.
Nope.
All right, then. I'm off. See you guys later. Have a great, lovely night to the end of your weekend, and I'll see you sometime next week. Bye.